Creating Young Minds Undiscovered League, Week 1 and Week 2 recap. This is of the 2021-2022 season. This is my second year covering this organization. I'm extremely excited about it, ready to get into it, and ready to cover this league for another year. There's been quite a few updates to the league. So they are now on Roku TV, also on Amazon. The easiest way to get to it, go to the link down below, which is CYMTV.org. You can sign up. It's $20 a month. You get unlimited access to the content, unlimited access to the games, and also they do a podcast as well. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. There's some new faces, some existing faces in the league, but I am excited to be covering again for this second year. We are right now live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter, Twitch, and we are also live on Roku. So right now, BS3 TV is on Roku. You can search your Roku on your Roku device and search BS3 TV, and you'll be able to find us there. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And like I said, this is the upcoming season of 2021-2022. So I'm excited. Like I said, we got some new faces that are in the league. We also have some new players. We do still have two great people, Dr. Shara Ackerman and also Coach. And what they do an amazing job, Coach Mathis Crowder, as they continue to help build up young men. So Creating Young Minds is an organization where they help young men and they help build them up for the future, not just in basketball, but in life. And also it's professional basketball played at a high level. These guys have played all over the world. Some have NBA experience, G League experience, but just a variety of different guys and different players throughout the world, like I said. And that's what makes really covering this league exciting. So go down below to the link, CYMTV.org. You can check out the info. So we had Week 1 and Week 2 that I'll be covering today. Week 3, they had last weekend. I'll be getting into that as well. We do have some highlights, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Shout out to D-Lo, produced it. They are back. Also, AFI and Corp, he does a great job with the highlights. So we got those on tap coming up. So make sure to stay tuned for that. All right, so let's get into some of the new players that I wanted to get to that are now in this Undiscovered League. We have Jamani Jones-Parker. He's from CYM Academy. You also have Drew Harbor, James Hampton, Shane Granger, Deontay Terrell. He actually played in the TBL, which is the Basketball League. You can find out more information on that league as well. This organization is a part of the Louisville Leopards, which is in the TBL. Devon Stanley, that's another new name. Also, Jaden Richardson, he went to UNT Dallas. Jonathan Edit, Texas A&M Commerce. Usama Zayed, he actually played in Australia and Morocco. And then Nakeem Oyije, and I apologize if I say any of these names wrong, but you will see these guys on the highlights coming up. He went to Clifton University. So game number 1, which was 2 weekends ago. So that was October the 30th. And so the team names are basically based on the colors. So you got blue, steel. You also have black and purple. So, and like I said, go to the link down below. It gives you more information. Also, you can go to the creatingyoungminds.org website, and you also get more information there as well. Shout out to D Great. Thank you for tuning in. Jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're viewing from. Let me know how your day going. We got a midday show on Roku TV. Make sure download the BS3 TV channel on your Roku TV or device. All right, so the first game, it was pretty close early on. It was 16-16. And I love Coach Mathis Crowder. Like, one thing I have learned about him, this is going into my second year, is that he pushes his players to be their absolute best. He will yell at them on the sideline. He will give them that nudge that they need, that encouraging word that they need. And I think his main goal and purpose is to make these young men better men, basketball and off the court as well. So early on, it was about 16-16. At the end of the half, it was 34-24. Team Blue started to pull away. And the third, it was 50-42. Team Blue up by 8. And then Team Blue pretty much coasted 72-59. I'll mention a couple of names that are new. There's also some returning names in the league. And I got to give a shout out to Trenton Washington. He dropped 18 in the first game, 3 rebounds. It was doing his thing. Also, Richard Turner, Big Rich. That's his nickname for me now. I'm going to start calling him Big Rich. He had 19 points on the day. He had 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds. Really, I think a productive player on the floor. Austin Wire, another returning name, 16 points. He also had 9 rebounds. And then Jeremy Burright, he had 11 points. He started off the game right off the tip, but you'll see that in the highlight that I'll be playing here in a minute. But he just right off the rip just gets the ball, goes down, and dunks it right off the tip off. So that was exciting to see. And that's what I appreciate in this league. These are guys that are hustling. They're trying to get opportunities, not just in this league, but they also get opportunities outside and play, around the world. And that's one thing that I, truly appreciate about this organization, is that they will help these young men get opportunities. So that was game 1 as we continue to go through the stat sheet here, but I wanted to give a shout out to Jeremy Burright, dropped 11. Going over to the steal side, we got a familiar name, Donathan Daniels. He was the captain, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Ruben Acosta, another one of those names that watched him play last year, extremely productive player. I think one of the best young point guards, 9 points, 7 assists, almost had a double-double. That's a productive day. Jonathan Eden had 13. I brought his name up. He had 7. And then Devon Stanley had 13. And Rick Curry, Smooth Rick, or Slick Rick, maybe I call him that. He had 12 points on the day, 13 rebounds, great down-low game, extremely productive. So points on turnovers was pretty close for the Blue. It was 19. For Steel, it was 15. Points in the paint, the Team Blue really held it down with 14 points. Really just, a dominant effort in the paint. And I think that was a major focal point. Second chance points, 10 for Blue, 2 for Steel. Fast break points, 21 for Blue, 15 for Steel. Biggest lead, 16 points for Blue. And so that was game 1. That was game 1 of week 1. And then going into game 2 of week 1, we had a close game, another close game. And this has a running clock. So a lot of times the scores may not be extremely high because the clock it's a running clock. Shout out to my man Vinny Hardy in the building. Says been showing the youngsters love. Definitely, man. Definitely got to do that. Vinny Hardy, co-host of Cats Talk Wednesday, which they'll be dropping their new episode tonight on the Roku channel, also on all audio podcast platforms. They're big Kentucky guys, so they will definitely have some info on Kentucky. So looking forward to that. Shout out to my man Mo Cheese in the building. Just had a show yesterday. Welcome back to the podcast game, and your voice has been missed. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook. Halftime, 37-27. Team Purple starts to pull away. In the third, 52-43. And then 81-71. Team Purple ends up pulling it out. Appreciate you, Mo, for tuning in. X Squad Radio, he hosts a show called Country Roads, a variety show giving you some of everything. Extremely talented. He will be coming to video to StreamYard soon. So be on the lookout for that. You'll be able to see him taking the podcast game up a notch. No rush, but looking forward to seeing that. All right, so Team Black, they end up losing by 9. Deontay Terrell, 21 points, and Devon Stanley with 21. Deontay Terrell played with the Shreveport Mavericks in the TBL. The TBL is the basketball league. Type it in, look it up. The Louisville Leopards are a part of that league, which is a part under the Creating Young Minds umbrella. Again, you can watch the games in this undiscovered league, CYMTV.org. It's $20 a month, gives you full access. Also, want to get history on the organization, go to creatingyoungminds.org. All right, so Deontay Terrell and Devon Stanley, big time. Also, Devon Stanley had 9 rebounds, and Deontay Terrell had 8 assists. So that really showed that was the driving force for Team Black. Now, going over to Team Purple. I told you about a new name coming into the league, and this is Usama Zaid. Had 38 points on the day, 3 rebounds, or 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Also, you had 15 from Nakeem, OG, and then William Benjamin, another TBL member, had 18. So that's where the bulk of the scoring came. Pretty close in points on turnovers, 8 and 6. Points in the paint, Team Purple dominated that with 42. But points in the paint, Team Black wasn't that far behind with 32. Fast break points, Team Black led that. And this was a nice up and down game. Nakeem, OG, I'm looking forward to watching this guy more. Also, Usama Zaid, looking forward to watching him as well. So that was week 1. Let's get to the week 1 highlights. Big shout out to AFI and Corp for the highlights. D-Lo produced it. Also jumping in. Let's get to the week 1 highlights. Let's go. Week 1 highlights. Amazing job put together. I was bobbing my head to that beat. You couldn't see me, but I was definitely bobbing my head to that beat. That was week 1. Names that I brought up: Jeremy Burright doing his thing, Deontay Terrell, the TBL, and Nakeem, OG, and Usama Zaid just doing their thing, man, playing sound basketball. If you can see in those highlights, precision passing, hustling up and down the floor. One thing you will see in this league is hustle. You will see hustle up and down the floor. There won't be any lagging. There won't be any standing around. These guys play extremely hard. So that was highlights for week 1. Again, CYMTV.org, where you'll be able to check it out. let's get into week number 2, which we had Team Blue versus Team Black. A couple of names I'm going to bring up again that were doing their thing in week 2. Trenton Washington, 24 points, 4 assists, 5 steals on the day, doing his thing. Richard Turner, what I say I was going to call him? Not Big Rich. I already forgot what I was going to call him. But maybe call him Big Rich. But he was doing his thing again with 21 points, 10 rebounds on the day. Then also you had Austin Wire with 19 points, 12 rebounds. And then Jeremy Burright. You're starting to hear these names, and you're starting to hear these names because these guys are the standout players in the league so far for week 1 and week 2. Shout out to Big Illinois. Thank you for tuning in. Also, Creating Young Minds themselves. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the thumbs up, the support, the opportunity again to cover this next year. So Team Black, let's go over to Team Black. James Hampton with 13. This is in game 1. Ruben Acosta with 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 11 points. Shane Granger, another new name that I brought up. You heard me mention his name at the beginning. 12 points on the day. Deontay Terrell, 17, 8 rebounds on the day. So this game started off pretty close, 2016 early on. Then Team Blue just started to pull away. And they had a dominant lead, 42-29 at the half. Third, it was 58-45. And overall, Team Blue, 83-65 on the day. A dominant win, almost a 20-point win, 18 points. Points in the paint, Team Blue with 44, Team Black with 30. Fast break points, 26-19. You're going to see a lot of fast breaks. You're going to see a lot of physical play. You're going to see diving on the floor. And you're going to see coaches coaching. And also, I forgot, Jason Maxiell is coaching in this Undiscovered League. And if you don't remember, Jason Maxiell got drafted by the Pistons, had a time in the NBA, also doing the G League. So this is a well-coached league with Jason Maxiell, Coach Mathis Carter, and a lot of other impactful coaches as well. Going over to Team Black, you got James Hampton with 13, Ruben Acosta with 11, Shane Granger with 12, Deontay Terrell with 17. I think I already said that, but I'll go ahead and bring it up again. The biggest lead, Team Blue with 21. So it was close only in the first quarter. And then after that, pretty much Team Blue just took it away from there. The second game on the day was Team Purple going up against Team Black. This game was not close at all early on. 25-7 at the end of the first quarter, 52-35 at the end of the second quarter, 71-51. They were up by 20 in the third, 92-71. Dominant performance by Purple. And when I tell you who's on this team, you'll understand because you've heard these names already if you've been tuning in for a little while. Donathan Daniels with 7. Richard Turner, Big Rich, 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. And then Nakeem Oji with 32 points, 16 rebounds. Dominant performance. Jeremy Burright with 24 and 7 assists. Also 4 steals on the day. That was the bulk. That was the bulk of the scoring right there. And these are guys that I've brought up and I've talked about throughout the entire show. Team Black, James Hampton, give him a shout out, 21 points. Deontay Terrell, been talking about him all day of the Shreveport Mavericks. Also, Rick Curry getting in 9. This was a dominant performance in the paint. 78 points in the paint. That's about 75% of their points. 73% of their points were in the paint. Then 48 points in the paint for Team Black. Fast break points, 38-17, Team Purple. And then bench points. This was another Dominant aspect for Team Purple, 24-0 for Team Black. And Team Purple with a dominant win. I'm excited. I'm excited about this Team Purple so far. They're already, and what I've covered week 1 and week 2, they're already 2-0. We'll be talking about week 3 next week. So make sure to tune in for that. And let's get into the highlights for week 2. Again, AFI and Corp and D-Lo produced it. Let's get into it. CYMTV, another set of dope highlights. If you've seen that crossover, I believe that was by Trenton Washington with that nice crossover. Shout out to my man Courtney Harden, host of The Real Deal with Courtney Harden. Check him out on Saturdays at 11 Eastern time. I believe it's 11 Eastern time. We'll make sure 12 Eastern time, 11 Central. He'll be dropping episodes each week on BS3 TV. All of the shows on the network, you can listen to the audio version as well on all podcast platforms and the video version. So that was week 2. 2 awesome first weeks. Week 3 was last weekend. Like I said, I will get into that next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the show. And make sure to tune in tonight. We have a great slate of shows on BS3 TV. Coming up at 7, Life Happens, hosted by Grace, Deborah, and Selena. They'll be talking about identity, which is something that we all deal with. So you can check that out at 7. At 8:30, we'll have Cigar Chronicles with Tremont Arnold and Ernest Tilley. They do a great job talking about politics and things that we deal with in our community. Coming up at 10, You Can't Make This Up, one of the new shows to the network, hosted by Terry Little and Double D Tiffany Jones. They will be coming with the heat. So Wednesday is the power hour, okay? Or maybe the power day, I should say, because there is so much content. You will be seeing this show covering Undiscovered League on Wednesdays as well, afternoon, kind of in your lunchtime. So thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure to download BS3 TV on your Roku TV or device. Also, make sure to visit creatingyoungminds.org, as well as to watch the games, CYMTV.org. $20 a month. You get access to all of the content. You get to see live action. Games are on Saturdays, Saturday afternoons. So you get the live action, you get the podcast, you get everything of what Creating Young Minds is doing. So have a great rest of your day. And we will be back next week with this recap. Peace.